just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
On play action, Rivers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Play action now. Rivers. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Devin Bush came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Rivers. A short throw caught by Andrews. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And we're going to have a break in the action. As you can see, Mark Andrews is yet to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. And down right near the 25. Able to break through that initial contact. Got him some extra yardage.
Tackled at the 25-yard line.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 13 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football. He gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now it's Jackson. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative. That's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Ronald Jones, the ball.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The field goal is good. Makes the score Steelers 3.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
At their own 32-yard line.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Well, let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Looking deep for Julio. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Now it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Ball carrier.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Jenkins. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
7 yards the pick up there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it with Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
At the Steelers' 32-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jackson now. Flush to his right. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Here's Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Kareem Hunt, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. 5 plays there on that drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Steelers ready for their next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Steelers 3.
From the 27, Rivers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense that looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Rivers. And the Browns pressure gets to him that that time, and he's going to go down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop it for a loss of 4.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rivers. And there's a quick throw caught by Andrews.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Rivers on 3rd and 2. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson heading back out as we check out our players' spotlight. On one hand, as we look at some of his struggles with the 3 interceptions, he's got to be upset. On the other hand, they're still winning this game.
So how does he take care of the ball the rest of the game? That's what his teammates are interested in because they pick things up for him throughout. You got to look over the defensive side, the kicking game. Those guys have made it work for him. Now his goal, not mess up anything else down the stretch.
Yeah, forget about those 3 picks. Move on. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there.
Kareem Hunt, the ball carrier.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 39, Jackson. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
At the 20-yard line.
Jackson out to his left. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Now Jackson. Flushed out right. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. They'll try to run with Hunt. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take it.
He's got it at the 15. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Rivers. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
A second down throw for Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. An incompletion as a result.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Rivers. This will be caught at about the 5. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, it's Rivers. The quick slant caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. From 4 yards out. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try it.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Touchdown.
Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, 1 play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and 5. To the air again here, Rivers. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Intended for number 14.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Rivers again, throwing the out route incomplete. It's Andrews, and he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 32-13 was your final. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Matthew Stafford has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. 31-7, the final score. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys have the lead as we get you back up to Heinz Field and say hello once again to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Taking in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Their own 23-yard line.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Hunt. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Escaping the pressure right. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain of 37.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. This is Hunt. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
A gain of 11.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
The ball carrier.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Barkley. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Jackson forced out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Browns add on to their lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made by Tanner Vallejo. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now Hunt. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal.
They're right there at the one. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They were able to stop him at the line on first down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the second try.
10. Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Jones. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
3rd and long for Rivers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the first down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Shelling through the defense. There he goes right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. An impressive 75-yard punt return. And the Browns are pouring it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there.
47 on the carry.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw on second down. Rivers. That's complete to Davis. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 42. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
First down, Rivers. Open man is Hill. He's got it.
Rivers.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7 at the Browns' 39-yard line.
Here we go. Check 59.
Now Rivers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. That catch good for only a couple.
At the 20-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. This is Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
59 mark, check, 59.
From the gun, Rivers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And then 10 yards to go.
On first down, Carney. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago. this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. To throw is Jackson, being chased out left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Eli Apple on the coverage.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. On the run, this is Hunt. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
At the 43-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now left side on the swing pass.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
23.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Rivers. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
At their own 30-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run with Barkley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
3rd and 8.
On 3rd down, Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Looking deep for Adams. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass down.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Touchdown, Cleveland.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, that first win remains elusive. They dropped to 0-12 now with the loss here. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.